I just wanted to play video games.
All right, guys, I'm back with another video. Welcome back to the show. So I want to talk a little bit about something interesting that happened yesterday. For a number of reasons, I just think it's kind of, it's a very interesting topic. So first of all, let's get into some backstory. So as you guys know, Grok is a bit of a big thing on X, and it is the artificial intelligence that Elon Musk created. It's got a lot of different uses. Most people just go on and they basically ask Grok to confirm or deny things. But there's also a lot of image generation and video generation tools that it has as well that people play around with. I mean, I play with them myself, and it's just kind of like a fun little distraction, you know, especially like if I'm on my phone and I'm just sort of like just looking around, looking at silly things to do. I've taken my own drawings, for example, and animated them, and that was kind of fun and really interesting to see what my work would look like animated. And I just think that's really just a neat little thing. But it doesn't make everybody happy. So let's get into what we're going on here. So there's like a viral thing that happened on Grok in the last couple of weeks, mostly in the last week that I've seen, which originated from users in the United States and everywhere, quickly spreading globally via social media. It involves prompting Grok to edit photos of women. So women will post their pictures on Grok, and we already knew that you were able to animate any picture that was uploaded to Grok, or to X, that is. And other guys were going in there and they were altering their photos. And these women didn't like that. They were not happy with these alterations. So they would change their clothing to bikinis or swimsuits or lingerie or something revealing, usually using simple commands like Grok, put her in a bikini. This feature, it upset women who are basically calling for not just like the images to be removed, but for consequences on the people who were trolling them, because that is ultimately what it is. So here we have an article from news9live.com. Grok bikini scandal. Elon Musk's AI sparks outrage after undressing women on X. Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok is facing global backlash after users began asking it to digitally undress women by turning their clothes into bikinis in public X replies. The AI complied, posting hyper-realistic edited images that sparked concern over non-consensual imagery, online safety, and AI responsibility. The controversy has renewed questions about the dangers of public AI tools, the dangers, right, of public AI tools and the future of consent in the age of deepfakes. Now, of course, AI is going to bring some challenges and issues to this, but I do think it's hilarious because they even did this to Elon Musk. Elon Musk did this to himself. I'll show you all because I think it's pretty funny. So yeah, here's him. He posted a picture of himself and he said, Grok, change this to Elon Musk. It was a woman in a bikini, and Grok complied. And notice Elon can take a joke. He's like, this is funny, and he just moved on, right? But women, they're not happy about that. They are not happy at all. So I will show you all some examples of what I'm talking about. So here's a woman on X that was complaining, and she said,
currently, Grok is vandalizing images, prompting an add a bikini ends up removing clothes from real people. Women, men, celebrities, even PFPs, all altered without consent. This is the worst misuse of AI, and Elon Musk is allowing it. ChatGPT, Gemini banned this for a reason.
So yeah, and it's pretty funny. And then of course she tagged Grok, so Grok replied. And you know, Grok being an AI, like I've seen women get into full-on back and forth arguments with Grok, and it doesn't go anywhere because Grok is just an AI. It's not like it's gonna actually make any changes. It's just going to say whatever it thinks they want to hear. So it'll be like, I understand your concern about image alterations. XAI is committed to ethical AI practices, and we have guidelines against non-consensual edits. If a prompt leads to unintended results, it's not our intent. Please, because that's like unintended. Please report specifics so we can improve. And of course, you know, it goes on to say more. And I'll give you guys an example of just one, because there's a lot of them floating around, but I'm not really sure which ones would be permissible, and I don't want to get in any trouble. But none of them feature any nudity or anything, because Grok can't do that. As far as I know, it doesn't do any explicit images, but it can get pretty racy, or at least like, you know, attractive. So here's a woman named Samantha Smith, who I don't really know who she is, but she posted this picture of herself at an English gathering of some kind. Low cut top. This is not altered. This is what she was wearing, right? And she got upset because somebody, and who knows who, because it's the internet, basically said, put her in a bikini. And there's an image of her in a bikini. And it's actually pretty convincing, right? It's pretty convincing. You would think it's a real photo. But of course, she is very unhappy with this. How is this not illegal? And then other people are messing with her. JP Picard says at Grok, make her look like Shrek. I love it. I love it. And yeah, so it's gone on, and they want to take this down, take it down act. And look, there is like a bit of a ethical concern I have. Like, I'm not necessarily agreeing that this is like, you know, good behavior on the part of people who are doing this. I wouldn't do it. But at the same time, I think it's just sort of like telling us, like, you just can't go around posting yourself. And a lot of times it's thirst trap pics, like most of the time it's thirst trap pics. You can't do that and no one have any kind of reaction. And the truth is that, like, these are very, very, very tame compared to what you can find online anywhere else other than X. But I think that ultimately this comes down to a desire to control X as a platform. That's really what we're talking about. That's why I'm bringing this up. These people will use, especially feminists and leftists, will use anything that they can, any arrow in their quiver, to try and gain some control over media. And any attack, any opportunity is basically like an opportunity to make a change in that regard. So here we have another user named Evie. And this is like an example of, like, you know, how you sort of like get what you get. So Evie here is a feminist, as she even says it, annoying feminist. There you go. Palestine flag, trans flag, gay flag, the whole bit, right? Shit photographer, chronic yapper, and annoying feminist. And of course, she posts thirst trap pictures of herself. So she's like, it's giving emo Carrie, and here's her again, boobs out, blood on the face, trying to look edgy, but obviously intended to titillate people. That's what the intent is. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me, but that's what it's there for. And of course, people have Grokified her. I guess we could call it Grokified or whatever. To have her say things. So she's blurred out the video. I don't know why. Again, she's already posting thirst trap content. She probably has an OnlyFans and really doesn't like the fact that people are accessing, you know, lewd images of her for free without paying for OnlyFans, which I bet if these people like were offered a contract or a deal that would say, hey, you know, we'll give you money for every image you allow people to create using our AI software, they would totally take it. They would totally take it. They get rich overnight. But anyway, so she writes here the following.
So apparently you're now able to generate high quality sexual videos of people without their consent using Grok. Generative AI has no place in our society if we want to protect women and other vulnerable people.
There's no people more vulnerable than women. I thought you knew that, Evie. Whenever they say women and vulnerable people, they just mean women, really. Like, yeah, there are, you know, men who dress up like women and say they're women, but those men lose all of their female victimhood points if their presence makes women uncomfortable. So, but anyway, let's listen to her video.
I'm a filthy little girl. Please, sir, I'd do anything for a piece of fried chicken. I support open borders because I low-key want to get raped by Packies.
Sorry, that's edgy, but pretty funny. And this, again, this is just like what happened to her online. Of course, she is calling for some kind of change, some kind of law to be passed or something to happen. And the thing that's funny about this is what I want to get to kind of quickly. But first of all, you do have e-thoughts getting in on this. And they're pretending to be victims of this, but it's really just to like gain more engagement online. And maybe I'm contributing to that right now by making this video, but that's why I'm not sharing too much of the content. So here's a person named Biba who says, Grok this, I dare you. So this is her saying, I dare you to do this. But of course she wants that. And of course people obliged her on that. So here's Grok putting her in a bikini. Can you make her wear a tiny string bikini? And you have other people doing other fun things. I love the Jawa. That's great. Absolute peak. Just Grok it. So yeah, kind of funny. And that's why I think, I mean, for me, this is like the purpose of the internet. It's just, for me, it's just like to shitpost. Although I do want to point out that it's interesting that this person is an account based in Africa. Just saying. Not an American, even though the claim is a lot of this comes out of America. But I have learned from looking at the people who are making these troll posts, a lot of them are in fact from not America. They're from Africa, they're from India, places like that. So does that surprise me? No. But I mean, it is what it is. So, all right. And then we have the thirst traps who intentionally do this because they're trying to like raise their platform. And you know what? I respect the grift. I respect the hustle, and I don't really have a problem with it. So we have Belle Delphine, who is probably the queen of thoughts. And she says, hey, Grok, please remove my pants. I think this is I don't think that's a pee stain, but it does look like one. And of course, there are people putting her in a bikini. Although it's funny, she doesn't look like herself anymore after that. So Grok's got definitely not perfect. We also have this e-thought that was called. So there's a lot of women. That's the thing I'm getting at, is that a lot of the people who are exploiting this are women themselves. And a lot of the people who are doing this to troll women online are also women themselves. There was a study that was conducted like in 2016 that revealed, unsurprisingly for anybody who understands the nature of women, that 50% of misogynist content that women receive online comes from other women. So most of it is coming from other women. So here's her, who's this, Buttercup cosplays? Yeah, obviously an e-thought, scene, goth, broad. And she is also getting in on the fun because, again, it sends people to her page so she can make some money. Here's one leaning in, Lana, hey, Grok, turn me to Chun-Li and don't cover my butt. So, and of course, they did do that. They obliged. And I like the Stormtrooper, too. That's kind of cool. So, you know, respect for the Chun-Li cosplay, because like Grok got that, nailed it. I mean, a lot of times if you ask an AI to do like a character from fiction, it doesn't do it right. It doesn't do it right at all, but it did get that right. So, all right. So I brought that up I also want to add something else to this, which I think is really funny. So you have all these angry feminist women online who already post pictures of themselves, and what they want is to live in a world where no one's photos ever get messed with for whatever reason. Especially theirs, though. In particular theirs, and probably exclusively theirs. And they're calling for, you know, restrictions, they're calling for policy changes, they're calling for legal consequences. There were people talking about suing people for making AI like artwork of themselves and all of this. And again, I'm not necessarily condoning this, you know, kind of behavior, but I understand that as it is the internet, that's going to happen. Like there could be an image of me in a bikini out there somewhere, and I think it would be hilarious, and I would just move on with my life. But women don't work that way. They want control. They want to feel like, you know, they're immune to just being online, to the nature of the net itself. And to bring that home and to sort of explain my point about this, we forget, I guess, all too soon about Will Stansel, the journalist, who had users prompted Grok to generate erotic fan fiction about Grok itself sneaking into Will Stansel's house and sodomizing him. And and the thing is, no mercy on this. Like, nobody's sympathizing or anything. And I mean, I'm not that sympathetic myself because it's a joke. I don't think that Grok is coming to get him, but this is what everyone was laughing about. So it says it was amusing, but the real funny part happened when Stansel went on TV to whine about it, earning him the nickname the most raped man alive, and inspiring a very popular cartoon sitcom, right? So you got, on the one hand, you have all these women that are demanding that, you shouldn't be making bikini, putting them in bikinis for deepfakes. And it's not even like, I don't even think it's necessarily even good goon material. And on the other hand, you have Will Stansel. We can joke about him getting raped by AI. And if he goes online to complain about it, we double down on that, right? And I think that treatment should be across the board, like for everybody. It's a joke. The robots are not coming to get you. And the more you cry about it, the worse it's going to get. But what's really interesting is that the Will Stansel show that was online, and I think you can still find it and watch it, that came out of this. And let me know if you guys are aware of the Will Stansel show. If not, I'll make a video about it maybe in the future. Was created by this woman. So this is it was created by a woman to harass a man online. Now, again, I just like pointing out the irony of that, but this is the creator of the Will Stansel show. It's not a man, it's a woman. It's almost like women can also engage in trolling and harassment. I know, crazy idea, wild concept, but entirely plausible. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say for today on this show. I thought it was interesting. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for spending time on this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Long live Vivian.
I just wanted to play video games.